You know that feeling? Like you're just overwhelmed, maybe thinking about the next thing, always the next thing, and somehow the simple, good moments, they just kind of vanish. It feels like we're constantly pushing against this tide of stress, chasing the next goal instead of, I don't know, noticing what's good right now. So today we're doing a deep dive into something really powerful, something that could maybe flip that script. It's the power of positive experiences. Cultivate happy moments every day. Our mission here is to figure out how we can fight those joy-draining habits and actually build a life with more happiness using some cool insights from psychology and neuroscience. Okay, so let's unpack this straight away. Why does it feel so hard sometimes just to hold on to feeling happy? Is there something basic in our wiring making joy tricky?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the most fascinating and honestly frustrating things is our brain's built-in negativity bias.
Negativity bias.
Yeah, think about it like this. You
Yeah.
get maybe 10 compliments, right? But then one little criticism.
That's the one you remember.
Exactly. That's the one that sticks, plays on repeat in your head for days. Our brains are basically wired as a survival thing to grab onto the negative.
Makes sense evolutionarily.
Right. But the positive stuff,
Yeah.
it often just washes over us. And this isn't just, bad mood. It's deeper. It can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, feeling kind of miserable.
Wow.
It actively stops us from really soaking in and benefiting from the good moments, even tiny ones, because our attention is always scanning for threats or what's wrong.
Okay, so survival mode gone a bit haywire in modern life. What does that mean for our day-to-day habits then? Are there specific things we do, or many things we don't do, that make this negativity bias even worse, that drain our peace?
Precisely. Yeah. If your daily routines aren't actively helping you find or notice the positive, they're likely draining you. Let's look at some really common joy drains, things that, if you don't watch out for them, can just sneakily steal your happiness. Okay, first one, focusing on how life should be, and also tightly holding on to how things used to be.
Ah, the shoulds.
Exactly. It's that psychologists call it counterfactual thinking. Always comparing now to some perfect ideal or some rosy memory of the past.
Right, which is never helpful.
Well, here's the twist. Instead of getting angry or frustrated about that gap, the idea is to use it. Use it to motivate you. Your response is always more powerful than the situation itself.
How does that work? Like, give me an example.
Okay, say you're stuck in traffic. Instead of, I should be home by now, try thinking, okay, unexpected quiet time or chance to listen to this chapter. It's about accepting that life changes, you change.
Shifting the perspective.
Yeah, seeing endings as maybe new beginnings, being teachable. There's always room for a new idea, even when things are disrupted.
So it's moving from being rigid, having those fixed expectations, to being more flexible, adaptive. I know I get stuck in that should loop sometimes, it feels like. Yeah, subtle self-sabotage.
It really can be. And building on that, another massive drain is wanting to control the uncontrollable.
Oh, big one.
We pour so much mental, emotional energy into trying to fix things that are just outside our control. The really powerful life moments, they often come when you find the courage to let go of what you can't change.
Okay.
Because that frees you up to change yourself, to grow. And this links right into self-forgiveness.
Self-forgiveness. How does that connect to control?
Well, think about it. When we cling to past mistakes or, resent choices that hurt us or someone else, we're basically trying to control or rewrite the past, aren't we?
Yeah, I see that.
But those moments, they're lessons. Refusing to practice self-forgiveness keeps you trapped in that regret loop. What really matters is being willing to grow from it. Forgive yourself for not knowing better back then. It wasn't a flaw, it was just a stage. Letting go frees up so much energy.
That's a really strong connection. Letting go of controlling the past, not just the present. Okay, what else are we doing that's undermining our joy without us realizing?
A lot of us are endlessly settling for default settings. And also resisting new ideas and lessons.
Living on autopilot.
Basically, yeah. If you're not consciously choosing things, customizing your life, chasing your dreams, even just a little bit each day, or, staying curious, learning, engaging with different viewpoints, you're missing out on real deep joy.
The joy of engagement, not just having things.
Exactly. Joy isn't just about what you get. It's about what you do with passion, with honesty.
Yeah.
Don't assume you've got all the answers. The world keeps changing in a closed mind. That's a world that gets smaller and smaller, cutting you off from wonder.
I feel that. It's easy to just drift, isn't it? Even if where you're drifting isn't great. It takes real effort to steer. What about how we see others or success?
Ah, good point. That brings us to constantly worrying about everyone else's story. And also seeking fleeting contentment instead of real lasting joy.
The comparison trap.
Totally. Especially now, right? Social media, everyone's curated highlights.
Yeah.
It's so easy to compare your messy reality to their shiny story. But don't get so caught up in their success that you forget to write your own story. It's not about being selfish. It's about prioritizing your path. Maybe consume a little less, create a little more, trust your own instincts. And the fleeting contentment thing, think of it like a sugar rush versus sustained energy.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah, temporary comforts, new gadgets, they feel good for a bit. But lasting joy, that comes from growth, from facing challenges, from purpose. Don't trade what you really want long-term for what you just kind of want right now. Notice where your time goes. Cut out distractions pulling you to those quick, empty fixes.
That's a key difference, the quick hit versus building something meaningful. And what about failure? We're so conditioned to fear it.
Absolutely. Fearing little necessary failures, that's another huge joy drain. The truth is, you often need to fail, maybe dozens of times, to actually succeed.
Right. Mistakes as data points.
Exactly. They're stepping stones, not dead ends. Failure isn't falling down, it's choosing to stay down. Sometimes things need to fall apart short-term, so better things can come together later. Seeing it that way changes everything. Failure becomes information, not condemnation.
Allows you to adapt.
Right. And maybe the sneakiest drain of all, simply waiting for the perfect moment.
Oh, that old chestnut. The perfect moment. That's definitely a myth we live by, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
There's no perfect moment dropped from the sky. Moments are what you make them. If you wait for everything to be just right, you'll wait forever.
And happiness stays over there, out of reach.
Exactly. Don't wait away your life. Use the imperfections. Start now with what you have. All these habits, these common ways of thinking, if we let them run unchecked, they really do drain the joy and peace that could be ours.
That's a really clear picture of these pitfalls. Okay, so we've identified these sneaky joy drains. The big question now is, how do we reverse it? How do we actively, intentionally cultivate happiness? Create those upward spirals you mentioned.
Okay, yeah, this is where the science gets really exciting, especially Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory.
Broaden and build, tell me more.
So the idea is that positive emotions, joy, gratitude, interest, love, they don't just feel good. They actually change how your brain works in that moment. They broaden your attention and your thinking.
Okay, broaden. How so?
Well, negative emotions tend to narrow our focus, fight or flight, right? Tunnel vision. Positive emotions do the opposite. They open us up, make us more flexible, more creative, see more possibilities.
I see. Less tunnel vision, more panorama.
Exactly. And that broadened mindset then helps us build resources over time. Things like physical health, new skills, social connections, psychological resilience.
So it treats a cycle?
A virtuous cycle, yeah. And an upward spiral. One good feeling can lead to better coping, which leads to more good feelings, and it accumulates, genuinely making you more resilient.
So what's the most practical way for us, listening right now to start applying this, to get that spiral going?
We can start with real, practical, science-backed strategies, ways to consciously bring more positive stuff into our lives and, crucially, make it stick. One of the absolute best is the art of savoring.
Savoring? Like enjoying your food slowly?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
But it's broader. It's not just having good experiences, but actively prolonging and amplifying the positive feelings that come with them. For instance, share your good feelings. Something good happens. Don't just keep it bottled up. Tell someone you care about. Even just thinking about telling them can boost your happiness.
Really? Just thinking about it?
Yeah. Savoring is like the glue in relationships. Sharing joy strengthens those bonds and makes the good feeling linger. We're social creatures. Sharing happiness taps right into that.
That's lovely. A joy as a shared currency, almost.
Exactly right. Another way is to take a mental photograph.
Okay.
It's a conscious thing. Pause. Deliberately notice something you want to remember. The warmth of the sun, maybe the sound of someone laughing, a beautiful view. Tell yourself, this is great. I'm really enjoying this.
So you're consciously encoding the memory.
Precisely. Embedding it, making it easier to recall later, and also congratulate yourself. Don't be shy about patting yourself on the back for hard work or success. People who actually revel in their achievements, they enjoy the outcome more. It validates your effort. You can also sharpen your sensory perceptions. Slow down. Engage your senses more. When you eat, really smell it. Notice the textures, the tastes. In the shower, feel the water temperature, the texture, the soap, the smell.
Micro-mindfulness.
That's exactly what it is. It pulls you right into the present, anchors you to positive sensations, and it's literally training your brain, strengthening those positive pathways.
I love that idea, turning mundane things into rich experiences.
It really works. And hey, don't be afraid to shout it from the rooftops or, at least express good feelings outwardly. Laugh out loud, jump up and down, grin like an idiot.
Okay.
It's not just for show. It gives your brain physical proof that something good happened.
Yeah.
It reinforces the feeling. Like a feedback loop, the action amplifies the emotion.
Makes sense. Physicality matters.
It does. And on a more thinking level, try comparing the outcome to something worse. Sounds odd, maybe. But reminding yourself how things could have gone badly can actually boost positive feelings about how they did go. It gives you perspective, gratitude, relief. Another really key part of savoring is getting absorbed in the moment, what psychologists sometimes call flow.
Flow state.
Yes. Try to switch off that inner critic, that running commentary, and just fully immerse yourself in a positive experience, like listening to music, working on a hobby, being completely lost in a task.
Time just disappears.
Exactly. You lose self-consciousness. The activity is its own reward. It's that sweet spot where your skills meet a challenge. Peak engagement, peak enjoyment. Think of an artist painting or a climber focused on the next hold.
That feeling is incredible when you find it. The world just fades.
It really is. And of course, a classic. Count your blessings and give thanks. This is more than manners. Tell people you feel lucky to have them. Take an extra moment to appreciate your meal. Saying thank you, even silently, makes us happier because it shifts focus from lack to abundance, reinforces good things, and strengthens bonds. And the flip side of that, avoid killjoy thinking.
Killjoy thinking.
Yeah. After something good happens, don't immediately jump to the negative or what still needs doing. Focus on the good parts. Let yourself actually bask in it for a moment. And finally, a powerful savoring technique. Remind yourself how quickly time flies. Consciously relish good moments because they're fleeting. Knowing they pass encourages you to soak them up fully while they're here. You can even imagine looking back fondly on this moment in the future.
Wow, those savoring tools are incredibly concrete, much more than just enjoy things more. Okay, beyond savoring, what other practical tools can we use?
Embracing mindfulness informally is super effective. Doesn't have to be hours on a cushion. Just integrate it. Pick a routine thing, brushing teeth, washing dishes, walking, and just fully focus on the sensations. Sounds, smells, movements, textures, mind wanders. Gently bring it back. It trains your attention muscle.
So you notice more positive micro moments.
Exactly. And schedule some be-me time, maybe in nature. Just watch the clouds, feel the sun, listen to birds. Focus on being, not doing. It helps build those positive brain pathways, boosts resilience, dials down the pressure.
That sounds so doable. Not adding another task, just changing how you do things.
It really is. And then there's the transformative power of gratitude. Practicing it regularly, maybe keeping a little journal of things you enjoyed or stuff you take for granted, it literally shifts your brain's focus.
From lack to abundance, like you said.
Right. It fosters positivity, strengthens relationships, increases enjoyment, just by highlighting the good that's already there. And finally, please don't underestimate prioritizing connection and self-care. Human connection is fundamental. Make time for people, join groups, nurture those bonds. They're a huge buffer against stress.
And self-care isn't selfish.
Absolutely not. Yoga, massage, exercise, good food, enough sleep. They aren't luxuries. They are necessities. They lower stress, improve sleep, give you the basic physical and mental foundation to even be able to experience and savor joy. Okay, so we've talked practical stuff. Well, let's zoom out a bit, go a little deeper into the neurobiology of happiness, especially across our lives. It's not just an idea, right? It's an emotional experience rooted in the brain's reward system.
The reward system. Okay.
Yeah, it evolved to signal what's good for us, and we can kind of understand happiness or maybe motivation towards it with this ABC model. It often lines up, surprisingly, with life stages. So, type A, wanting and approaching. Think youthful energy, anticipation, thrill, pleasure, ecstasy. Often driven by dopamine. It's about exploring, seeking novelty, learning fast, adapting, like a young adult full of potential, striving.
Right, that early life go-getter phase. Building careers, maybe families.
Pretty much. Then comes type B, avoiding and departing. This phase, often more about stress processing, trying to escape bad stuff, feeling relief when you avoid harm. It's about defending gains, managing responsibilities, reacting to pressure.
Okay.
This often kicks in around middle age. It activates the stress response more as you juggle everything. This is where those joy drains can feel really strong.
Yeah, that resonates with how people describe midlife. High demands, high stress. What's next?
And then, potentially, type C, non-wanting and staying. This is different. It's deep satisfaction, kind of quietness, inner joy. It's about acceptance, connection, deep belonging, a lasting contentment that gets less dependent on external stuff.
Less chasing, more being.
Exactly. Often seen more in older people. It aligns with deep meditative states, appreciating what is, finding peace, inner calm.
That's fascinating. So it's not just our actions, but maybe our core motivations and brain states shift across life. How does the U-curve of happiness fit in?
Right. That U-curve research consistently shows happiness often dips from young adulthood down to midlife, kind of aligning with that stressful type B phase.
The bottom of the U.
Yeah. But then, surprisingly, it starts to rise again. Older individuals often report the highest life satisfaction. That maps nicely onto type C. It's called the satisfaction paradox because it can happen even if physical health declines.
That seems totally backwards. Is it just, unhappy people die younger, a survival bias?
Great question. But the research says definitively not a survival bias for a few reasons.
Okay.
One, the link between happiness and health actually gets weaker with age. Happiness becomes more independent of physical state. Two, there's no big spike in midlife deaths. People aren't just dying off if they're unhappy then.
Number three.
This U-curve shows up consistently across like 145 countries, different cultures, different economies.
Wow. Okay, so if it's not survival bias, what does it suggest?
It suggests something really profound, I think. That maybe the stresses and struggles of those earlier phases, the type A striving, the type B juggling, might actually be a prerequisite almost for the deep, resilient satisfaction of type C. Like navigating life's complexity ultimately builds a stronger, deeper contentment.
But that's actually really hopeful. It makes it sound like happiness isn't just fixed, not something you're born with or without, but something that can change, something you can cultivate.
Exactly. That's the key takeaway. Happiness can be learned and trained. Our brain's reward systems, our motivation systems, they're sensitive to stress, yes, but they are incredibly changeable. Neuroplasticity.
We can rewire ourselves.
We absolutely can. Positive psychology tools, stress reduction, mindfulness practices, they've been scientifically shown to influence these brain systems. They literally help rewire the brain, fostering learned happiness, building real psychological resilience. It's not about pretending challenges don't exist. It's about building the inner strength to meet them and still find joy.
What an incredible journey today. We've gone from understanding those subtle ways we drain our own joy to finding really practical, science-backed ways to cultivate positive moments, and even looked at how happiness might naturally evolve across our lives.
The big lesson here, really, for you listening, is that happiness isn't some static thing or a destination you finally reach. It's dynamic. It's trainable. It happens moment by moment. By consciously engaging, savoring gratitude, mindfulness, connection, you're not just having a nice moment, you are literally, physically rewiring your brain.
Building those upward spirals.
Building those upward spirals one positive experience at a time. Shifting your brain's default setting away from just spotting threats towards recognizing and building on the good.
So the final thought for you is, what small, conscious, positive experience will you choose to mindfully notice, really stay with, and absorb today? Maybe it is the taste of your coffee, or the sound of someone's laugh, or just that little feeling of done when you finish a small task. Whatever it is, know that it's not just fleeting pleasure. It's a real, deliberate step in retraining your brain for a lifetime of deeper well-being.